Alright, so I'll be returning these books either tomorrow or Friday, and you won't get you're not already getting a books I'll be reading for the next few weeks. I'm just picking up the books I have to pick up now because they'll expire and I have enough to return, that kind of thing. So let's get on with it. It's gonna be quick. This first one's gonna be super quick because this one, Beowulf, did not work. Now, I have a bunch of DVD players, and I knew on my finicky ass one, right, I conveniently have it right here. I knew on this finicky ass LG one, it's old. Nothing against LG, it's just an old. It's actually a hand-me-down. It's an old USB DVD player, and honestly, for as old as it is, it works really good. For as old as it is, and I knew on this finicky ass LG USB DVD player, this would not work. So automatically, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna watch somewhere else. So I go to my Xbox, which plays DVDs. I have the 360, so it doesn't play Blu-rays, but I have the 360. TLDR, I've mentioned this a bunch of times, just I'll mention it again. Side note, I'll mention this, not TLDR. Side note, I'll mention this yet again. I'm not going to upgrade my Xbox 360. I'm a comic book YouTuber, not a video game YouTuber, so thus I want to spend my money on comics and not on video games. Now that I'm trying to budget, maybe I will, but especially my birthday, it's going to be comics and nothing but comics. Anyways, so I knew, so going to the Xbox, it doesn't work there. Now, on my Blu-ray player, my portable Blu-ray player, it worked on that, but even then I did not want to chance it. So I didn't end up watching this, and honestly, when I was looking up the movie online, the person that was doing the reviewing, because they're going over, like, this is the director's cut, and they're going over the director's cut versus the actual cut, because I saw one on YouTube, I was like, oh, is that I don't think it even was this movie. So I look up on YouTube, I'm like, oh, is this the, director's cut, theatrical cut, and on the moviecensorship.com, that's where I go to, and it's a wonderful website. I strongly suggest you guys go on there if you want to know the differences between different cuts of films, different versions of films. But, sorry, I gotta check this real quick. So I was talking about director's cut. Oh, so on that movie censorship one, it said that it wasn't the best, and the thing wasn't all that interesting, kind of boring if anything, so I was like, you know what, I'm done. I give up, I'm not gonna watch it. This one I had seen before, Can You Ever Forgive Me? And it still holds up. It's not that old of a movie, so I didn't think it wouldn't hold up. I just want to watch, I just wanted the whole family to watch it. My dad is not the best movie critic, he doesn't like movies in general, so he's like, I never like think of him when thinking of movies, and everyone else didn't like it. Everyone did, actually. I did too. I think this was a wonderful movie. I think it deserved to get at least an Oscar for Melissa McCarthy's performance, because by God, like, you see her in something like stupid like The Heat or Ghostbusters, or it's like they call it Ghostbusters, and then you see her something like this, and it's like, oh, so she can actually put effort into a performance. It's weird, and it's like night and day. So I think at the very least that's a good, that's deserving of an Oscar win. But Melissa McCarthy being an Oscar winner, I don't know. And there were like 5,000 more movies. I think she got nominated, so I might just say at least that. At least her getting nominated, that was good. I think this is a movie worth checking out, definitely. If you like a more, it's a comedic movie. I would say it's more of a dramedy. And it takes itself more seriously and like slowly than you would expect a movie that Melissa McCarthy stars in to take it. So I will say, if you're expecting more like outlandish, then don't watch this movie. But I think everyone should watch this movie. 20th Century Women was when I watched the first time, and I really enjoyed this one. A24 knocks it out of the park yet again. And I honestly do hate the people that are critical of A24 and think we just are a bunch of film snobs that what's the expression, that point our nose downward, like we hate anything like that's fun, like Marvel movies. Like, no, it's not us. Some of us maybe, but not all of us. It's like saying every Marvel fan won't watch a foreign film. Just most of us. But this one is absolutely outstanding. Outstanding performances, outstanding everything. Honestly, it deserved to win an Oscar and didn't. At least a screenplay. That was surprised that it didn't win a screenplay. But again, that was 2016. I had to think of the other movies that came out with that. It was La La Land, wasn't it? Probably was that. honestly kind of overrated movie if I think about it. When you think about it more and more, I do need to rewatch that again. That'll be one of the movies that next week I'll be watching. For those movies that I have watched, some of them that are behind me, I like watched some for the first time, and watched some yet again. Those will all be out at once because I'm planning on getting all the entire shelf behind me. You can see right there. I plan on like watching all those. Not the ones. There's one that I just have like this. That's Everybody. Yeah, I'll do that too. Actually, it's Everybody Hates Chris. I've watched all those episodes. Good show, by the way. Sin City Volume 1. The only one I'll be reading in this format. The rest will be the huge ass library editions. And yet again, this is a fantastic comic book. I love every. This is what I want when I get noir comics. Even half of this is what I want from my noir comics. This is plain and simple. Probably my favorite Frank Miller comic. I cannot say that because I've not read everything he's done. Actually, I have to really think of what I actually have read by him. But this is probably one of my favorite comics of all time. I'm surprised I keep forgetting to mention this when I talk about my favorite comics of all time. It is probably, honestly, let's knock out Why the Last Man out of its third spot and put Sin City at its third spot. Like, already. Because I read all 7 volumes of this, but already. I'm surprised I forget about this. I don't know why I do. I think because when people ask me, what are your three favorite comics of all time? It's like, Preacher, because that's always my favorite. Trent Metropolitan, Why the Last Man, okay. It's very spontaneous. I have to really think about it. And the way my brain works, apparently, I just never think of it. And it's weird I don't think of it. But now I will be thinking of it. So, those who want to know, I'll reiterate again. Preacher, Trent Metropolitan, and Preacher, Sin City, Trent Metropolitan. Because Trent Metropolitan it was a very slow start, honestly. My, 15th reread of that comic book I noticed. This is probably my favorite volume of Scott Pilgrim so far, and this has been a fantastic book to reread. This is basically the Oni Press's version of Oni Press's version of The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead is probably my 4th favorite comic, so knock down Why the Last Man another peg. So top 5. This was my 6th one, honestly. It's slowly but surely creeping up to be one of my favorite comics of all time. Top 10. It's been such a joy to come back to. I am surprised it's taken me this long to reread the series, and honestly, book this thick, it flies by. I honestly think that I could have read this in an hour had I not taken breaks. The reason for why that is because of the next book, 9/11 Emergency Relief. Now, not only was this book long, this book is only 200 pages, and it's 190 pages worth of actual book. You felt every page. Now, a lot of it had to do with the subject matter being very hard to read, and a lot of it had to do with there's a lot of dialogue. Now, almost always, it was this is the only exception when I say, oh my god, this comic has so much dialogue. Can they ever get it right? Yes, they can. Comics can have an infinite amount of dialogue, but if they do it like this, and have competent writers, then I won't complain. When I complain about there being a lot of dialogue, I'm not complaining because, I want the comic to have splash pages and have no dialogue, minimal dialogue, so I can get out of there faster. No, I'm saying that because I know that comics can have a lot of dialogue and have a point. This did. And honestly, most times I'm complaining is for Silver Age comics, which I honestly, that's kind of complaining about. It's kind of a non-issue, honestly. It's a borderline non-issue. But here, it was absolutely fantastic comic book. I do recommend this book, but you're gonna have to give yourself the whole entire day to read it because it took me 2 days to read it. First thing, I shouldn't even count, honestly. The second day, I think it was 3 technically, right? Yeah, technically 3. So I'll say 2. First day. Well, first night, I shouldn't be counting. It was just I just did it last minute, and I was like, nope, can't do it. I had a lot of drinks, I was ready to go to bed. Second night, I was addicted to YouTube that day. I was on my YouTube, my Twitter. If you guys have been following Twitter, you notice I share that with my cousin. He shares his. That's gonna be this week is gonna be interesting. I can do it right now actually, but this week today is gonna be an interesting post on Twitter. And then that was kind of my fault. But the second day, I finally got down to reading it, and it was spectacular. I do recommend this comic book. Not every story, and it's one of those books where I can't even pick out a story I didn't like. Like when I was reading this, I was like, my God, I'm only like 50 pages in. Like I honestly, by the time I reached the 100th page, I was like, this could have been 2 graphic novels. But I can't pick any to take out. So I'd say, oh, 2, not just take out these. These are unnecessary. Yeah, towards the end it gets a bit repetitive because they're all talking about the same thing, and all talking about all kind of the same theme, but they still feel diverse. It still feels like a different person is telling the tale, like a completely different person. It gets my seal of approval. I would say I'll go through them again, but I'd say a 9 out of 10. If only I went out of 11. Wouldn't that be funny? Yeah, I tell dark jokes here too sometimes. I definitely am not I didn't mean to say it like that. I definitely am not a stranger to dark jokes. I wouldn't say I tell dark jokes a whole lot. Not because I don't want to, but because they don't come up. Like I'm not the kind of YouTuber that force jokes, nor will I ever be. Moving on, Beowulf by Gareth Hines. This is the complete inverse of the Image Comics version. Now, I've not read the Image Comics version again. I've only read it one time before, and that was a while ago. It was August. It wasn't like it was 2 years. It was like it was 2 years ago. But I remember Beowulf Image Comics being so fast-paced, it was almost too fast-paced. This, even though it probably has the same amount of dialogue as the comic book does, the Image Comics version, this still felt so damn slow and boring. Because all Gareth Hines did was draw the artwork and slap the original book onto the paper. At least I'm almost positive he did. So it's old, it's dated, it's bland, it's forgettable. It's Beowulf. Read the Image Comics version rather than that version. Cal Exit, no, really Simeon, over on Instagram, he had this on his Twitter, on his Instagram. I was like, oh yeah, I remember that series, I want to read that again. And I did, and I'm so glad I did. This is entertaining. Yeah, I probably like everything they're doing is probably like too propaganda-y, preachy, but it's still entertaining. You know, I will always give a free pass if a book is entertaining, and this is, and I kind of do want more. And that is a spectacular feat for a comic to make for me. Last, but certainly not the least, well, maybe the least, is Batman One Dark Knight. Like a lot of Black Label books, pretty damn forgettable. Not the best, not the worst. I will not be taking this book out myself. It's just okay. The art book is good, but just kind of bland. Kind of just, oh, it's another Batman book. Your mileage may vary, though, because I do still recommend it. And that, as I say, is that. I lost my train of thought completely. So I don't think it'll be any more. Oh wait, no, there might be a video this week. I might try and do a live stream. I doubt it. Probably won't. But the only video I think I'll be uploading. Maybe I'll do a live stream. I don't know. Because the video I'm thinking of doing, I kind of want to do on another channel because I have a bunch of channels. But I don't know. I do want to upload one more video this week though. But if I do, it'll probably be a live stream. It'll probably be early. But I don't know.